Hi friends, I'm welcoming to our live setting is going on. Okay, it's enough. Hi friends, in this live video class, I'm going to brief you on the basic information on what is that 1 minute basic information on weaving and knitting. 1 minute, dost. Okay, now it's right. Now it's good. Correct, yes. Dear friends, in this live class, I'm going to brief you on the basic information on weaving versus knitting. What is the difference between weaving and what is the difference between weaving and knitting? Friends, yesterday I was live. I taken live class in Hindi, the same subject, Bunai versus Bunana. In this class, English version, that is weaving versus knitting. What is weaving? What is the difference between weaving and knitting? Actually, friends, this live class, what I am taking the basic, the subject, that is elementary subject, for those who wants to understand the textiles, fabric, about the fabric. In our day-to-day, the life requirements, any continent, any country, any peoples, everybody, the basic needs, one of clothing is one of the basic needs, wearing the clothes. Now in this 21st century, compared to the olden days, say 100 years back, 200 years back, or 300 years back, or 1000 years back, or 5000 years back, compared to olden days, now the technology is improved and the technology is developed to the level that even the software informations, that is the clubbing of the mechanical means with the software means, IT, information technology, computer science is clubbed with the textile machineries. Say automobile industry is a mechanical means of industry, textile industry is a mechanical means, many things are there. Actually, textile fabrics are woven or knitted or processed by using the machines worked mechanically. Looms are worked mechanically. Water jet loom, air jet loom, or power loom, hand loom, whatever, those are mechanical work means. See this, and also speed and everything. This, all the basic operations are there. The loom operations, whether it is a loom operations, whether it is a knitting operations, whether any spinning operations or dyeing operation, whatever is there, all whatever the machines used in the textile processing from fiber stage to the garmenting stage, all are installed with the software facilities, software microprocessor software applications are used in the textile industry, not only in the machines, in creating the designs, in creating automatic designs, that not only design, pattern, textile patterns, printing patterns, weaving patterns, color, selection of the colors, these are all the things are there. Okay, I don't want to go in general. Now we'll come to the topic, basic topic, because if we talk about the textile, it will take half an hour, 1 hour, more than this. But the duration of the video, if more duration is there, then I don't think the audience, the audience, it is difficult to watch. Maximum 10 minutes video watching is very difficult nowadays. Such a competition is there. So I will come to directly the basic elementary information on the wing. See, I'm comparing only in this class. I'm comparing. Okay, only in this class I'm comparing the what is the weaving, what is the knitting. See, two column I am making. Hope yes, it is eligible. Correct. Okay. Then this part I am taking as the weaving. Okay. This on left side I will explain on the weaving, and right side I will explain on the knitting. Okay, as a first step for weaving means fabrics are woven. Whether fabrics are woven or knitted, what the raw back process is required, what the raw material is required, where it starts textile industry, that is from fiber stage, fiber selection, fibers. Say fibers for both. Okay, fibers are same. There is no difference in the fibers. Fibers may be a cotton fiber, it may be a polyester, it may be a viscose, it may be a nylon, tencel, lyocell, modal, whatever it may be. Fibers are same. That selection of fibers, then at the topic, based on selection, the designer's choice or the consumer's requirement or end applications, depend upon the end applications, depend upon the designer's choice, depend upon the continent, different continent of this globe, different seasons, different climatic conditions of the globe, of different countries. Okay, it's depend fiber selections and also weaving pattern selections and other so many things are there technological. That is good. Fiber is same. Now next second one is yarn selection. What is the difference in the selection of the yarns for the purpose of weaving and for the purpose of knitting? What difference is there? In case of weaving, yarns are used for interlacement of warp and weft. Say interlacement. Interlacement takes place like this between warp and weft. Okay, na? Between warp and weft. Interlacement takes place. But in case of knitting, loops, interloop. The single yarn is interlooped. And fabric is made. Okay, yarns are required. But I am saying here, as per our knowledge, what we read in our education classes, engineering classes, whether it may be MTech, BTech or whatever, and in the industry what we worked, that is some knowledge I gathered, not a big knowledge, little bit knowledge that what the yarn selection is. Say, before why I'm in weaving, fabrics is produced, manufactured. What level of fabrics are produced? What level of fabrics? The fabrics are thinner fabrics. Fabric starts from thinner to carpet level, thick fabrics. Say lightweight fabrics. Say I'm saying textile terms, lightweight fabrics. Lightweight fabrics means 80 count voile fabric, 60s cambric fabric. These are lightweight. 50s poplin, 50 poplin, and medium weight 30s poplin, 40s poplin, right? And come to the still coarser fabric means 12 into 16 fabric, 16 tens count fabric, sixes count fabric. See, sixes count, coarser count, sixes count, twos count, tens count, okay, 12s count, 16s count. These are the counts. Coarser counts are used. How much thickness will fineness of this yarn? Twos in English count. In the indirect system, this is called twos, right? Coarser count. Then medium count, say 24s count, 30s count, 40s count, even 50s count. Then 60s count, 80s count, 100s count, 120, 150, even 200 counts. Okay, these are the yarns fineness. In indirect system, I am telling English count, cotton count. In cotton count, these are used. Say coarser yarns are used for thick weight, heavy weight, 360 to 400 grams per square meter fabric can be used. Or here 24s, 30s, 40s poplin, top weights, shirts top weight, ladies top weights, kids dress tops, and bottoms for bottoms, 10s, 12s pant, 10s count, 12s count, 16 count, not only plain view or 12 view, 16, 12 into 16, 12 view, okay, and 2 6s, that is matte view, matte thick fabric, 6s, 2s, and 12 into 16 plain view, matte view, canvas, 12, or if you go for 50s, satin also possible, 40s poplin, 30s poplin. Then these are the 80s while very thin fabric, cambric fabric, sheeting fabric. There are all the things are there. Many end applications are, it depends upon the end application. Many, this is from 2s count to 200s count. Fineness of the yarns are used. In case of weaving, fabric is woven in handloom, power loom, automatic loom, air jet, water jet, whatever is the further now. Okay, European countries, the German and others, famous for Italy, famous for the machinery manufacturing countries. You might have visited other ETMA and other things, many exhibitions, fairs, machinery fairs. You will come to know what the development takes place. High speed looms. Speed of the looms is also very important. Speed of the looms in weaving and speed of the knitting machines. That is also important while selecting the fabric. Yarns. See, okay, this I will not exaggerate the same topic. Now I will come to this knitting. Say, can we use 2's count? Can we use 2's count, 6's count, 10's count in knitting? Is it possible? What is knitting? Here, interlacement of warp. Here, the fabric you saw here. Okay, fabric you saw. These are the horizontal yarns. These are the horizontal threads in the fabric are called weft. And the longitudinal thread, that is lengthwise, the yarns are called warp. The lengthwise of the fabric, the yarns, parallel to the lengthwise of the fabric, those are called the warps. The widthwise of the fabric are called weft. Okay, the density, other technical point I don't want to explain, that is EPI, PPI, that I don't. Just I am in this live class, I am going to give weaving and knitting, the basic elementary LKG, UKG subject. I am not explaining here technology. I am not explaining here textile technology. Just difference. Friends, if you want in Hindi, you can watch my Hindi. Yesterday I released the live class. Okay, this is the interlacement of warp and weft. 2 yarns are required to make the fabric. This is, and number of width, this all this selvage is there. Here selvage. The selvage, between that selvage, whatever the yarns are, longitudinal yarns are accommodated, that is ends per inch or picks per inch, that is density will be there, depend upon the end requirements. That is not required. Thousands of yarns are there, warp yarns are there, thousands of picks are there. How many? To make weaving, what is required? It is required to prepare the warp beam. Here warp beam is prepared. Here warp beam is prepared. Here warp. How many yarns are there in the lengthwise of the fabric? Say 1500 warps yarns are there. So 1500 of yarns are wound on the warping beam. That is, warp beam is loaded behind the loom, back side of the loom. All 1500 yards are taken through the heels, and that is not different technology. I don't want to explain that technology. This warp beam, in case of weaving, need to prepare. What is required? Preparatory process is required. That is, preparation of the warp beam is required, and size application is required. And the whatever the here weft is there, that is not enough single. It's a multi-block, multi-box shuttle. If in olden days, in handloom, in power loom, one or two shuttle are moving up and here and there. But in airjet and other things, there multi-shuttle, other multicolor yarns. Even the multicolor, even the 10 color for yarn dyed fabric, even the 10 color weft, if you are using that is also okay. That is not a big things. But here warp beam is prepared. Extra process is required in case of weaving. Now I will come to the knitting. In knitting, is there requirement of preparation of the warp beam is there or not? Now, what is knitting? There are two types of knitting machines are there. One is flatbed knitting. Is there. In this, like woven fabric, the between the selvages, how many yarns are there? Here also, there is a width-wise open width knitted fabric will be there. Here, along the along the width of the this flatbed machine, needles are operating. These are the needles. The yarn, the single yarn is subjected to stress and strain and subjected to folding in the form of loop in case of here knitting. The single yarn coming from the single yarn is coming here subjected to stress and strain, subjected to loop formation. Loops are formed. Interlooping takes place. What is takes place? Interlooping. In this case, interlacement. The word used in this weaving is interlacement. I will change the ink. Okay. Interlacement. Here, the interlacement is there. Interlacement of warp and weft. Here, interlooping of yarn. Interlooping of the yarn. In case of flatbed, how many needles are there? The density of the needles. Each single needle moving up and down. Each needle is carrying the yarn thick and looping. It is going on. Okay, na? So, it depends upon density. That is also technology is there. No need to explain that technology. Just basic explanation. Needles are moving up and down to make the loops. Interloop. Making the loops interloop. Okay, locking the loops. Loops are locked each other. Okay, this is flatbed. This is how much, what is the width of the fabric, knitted fabric, what is there? That much of width of the fabric. Now, another type of machine is there, circular knitting. That is circular knitting machines. Circular knitting. Okay, this circular knitting, here it's like a disc. Depend upon this disc is called cylinder. This is a disc, cylinder like disc will be there. The diameter of this machine, the disc is there, needle bed diameter. This needle disc, this is called needle disc is there, no? All throughout all this disc is equipped with the number of needles. how many wales are there in case of here in this case of weaving warp and weft we are saying. In this case of, see, this is one loop is there, okay, this is one loop. Yeah, this is type of making the yarns, okay, appearing what, yes, it's appearing, okay. These are the loop form is there, okay. This single yarn is making this loop. This is widthwise. What the widthwise is one loop is making here. This is loop. Okay. This loop line is there. No number of loop lines. This is called course line. This is called course. This is called course. Where I have to write here? I will write course. Okay. Course line. And next, how it is looping here? Again, next second row. It is coming here, like here, okay now, like it will knitting is formed like this, okay. It's required not a too much what's called it is not a big things here, no need of making here, no need of preparation of the warp beams, because in case of single knit, single just knit or weft knit machines, the single yarn is operated by the thousands of needles. What is the open width? There are two widths are considered in knitting, knitted fabrics. One is open width, that is one width is there, and that is folded. That is folded means the circular half circular width, closed width. In closed width, the fabric is of two forms. Okay, now, so in this each and single, the single yarn is coming like this. Single yarn is operated here. Single yarn is operated to make the looming here. Okay, hope you have understood. This is this same looping it takes place. These are the fabric is coming out, knitted fabrics. Okay, this is the structure is there. Okay, so what I am going to say is that here interlacement and interlooping is there. Here preparation of the beam is required. Here preparation of the beam is not required. In case of yarns are there, number of yarns. Creel is required. Creel is required. It's sometimes pattern, sometimes not. If a single color fabric is required, then creels, number of creels are not required. If color yarns are used, different designs are used, different patterns are to make, then number of creels are required, number of equipments are required. That is different. In case, okay now, if I forgotten to tell about the count, yarn count. This is important in this case. See, one more important in selection of the yarn for knitting is, in case of knitting, compared to weaving, loom weaving, the knitting is, the yarn is subjected to stress and strain. It requires more strength. The tensile strength of the yarn required in case of knitting is more. More tensile strength is required. First point. Second point, uniformity should be more, because in 1 inch, in 1 inch of the bed there are 30, 40, even 18 courser for rib structures, for what is the cuff and collar, that is different. If the inner wear, the outer wear, the knitted goods are there, now they are using for sports wear, say 25 needles per inch, 30 needles per inch, fine knitted fabrics. For fine knitted fabrics, each and in 1 inch, 25 needles are operating, means 25 needles are catching the single yarn 25 times. In 1 inch of the knitted fabric, friends, please understand, in 1 inch of the knitted fabrics, if 25 needles are operating, those 25 needles are catching 25 times the yarn. Means here how many needles are there with throughout the open width? thousand needles, thousand needles will be there. All thousand needles are catching thousand times the same single yarn. Means how much the capacity to be incorporated in the yarn selected. That is called hosari yarn. Hosari yarn should have more strength, should have uniformity, should have zero hairiness. Okay, should have more TPI, twist per inch or twist per meter. Right? Means what the process is required, the yarns used in knitting are called hosari yarns. Combed yarns are used in this case. Combed yarns. Combed yarns are used. Combed yarns are used in knitting. Combed yarns are used. Here, what the loom that is called combed also used in weaving, and carded also used. Carded yarns also used. Combed yarns also used. Then what is the difference between carded yarns or combed yarns? Okay, I'm also watching my live here side. Mobile is there. I'm also watching my live. Okay. Say what is the difference between combed yarn and carded yarns? Combed yarns, carded yarns means in spinning mill. Okay, the processes are there, preparatory processes are there. That is start from mixing, blow room, carding, combing, drawing, simplex, ring frame, winding, packaging. Okay, but in the department after carding, what the comber is there. If the carding what the lap is converted into a sliver form, row form, that is if that is taken directly for drawing and then directly taken for simplex, bypassing the combing department, then the whatever the yarn produced in the ring frame, that is called carded yarn. That carded yarn might have short fibers, might have some other there is a variation, might have variation in the U percentage, might have variation in the coefficient of variations, might have variations in the other short fibers, staple variations will be there. But for yarns required for hosiery products should not be bypassed the combed. Extra process is required, that is combing operation is required. Combing operations, the carded yarns are still parallelized. Okay, all fibers are made them into parallel. In carding also, the objectives of carding, in carding also yarns are gets parallelized, dust and dirt removed, and lap is converted to sliver. But in comber, still the sliver is subjected for ribbon lap and sliver lap and combing. What will happen? All short fibers are there, no short fibers. All short fibers are removed in the form of oil, and dust and dirt still cleaned, and finally it keeps only the high length, high staple fibers. Comber maintains in its output only the high staple, more staple, good staple fibers, so that whatever the combed sliver going to simplex and in the same spinning, because of the high staple maintained, even the finer yarns can be produced, and good tenacity or good strength to be inserted, strength can be given, and CV percentage to be good, U percentage to be good, hairness can be avoided, so that the yarn operated by all thousands of needles it will withstand, the yarn will withstand the all needles operations. Okay, there is no breakages. The chances of breakages are very less. Breakdowns of the knitting machines are avoided. These are the technical basic things are there. Okay, now even for 80s while combed yarn required, 60s while finer counts also in weaving, combed yarn is required, but here use of carded is rare. Use of, I think I use rare but not required. It's a common answer, Waziri answer required in the knittings. Okay, friends. These are the basic differences are there main. And technology, if we explain that so many technologies are there, that I no need to tell. Actually, I supposed to take today 5 o'clock, but it is unable to take. Okay, now this is the basic things are there. Basic elementary, the difference between the weaving and knittings. And one more I can use final, that the difference is the end products. The end products made from the knitted goods are mainly for inner wear, lingeries, and sports wear, t-shirts, tees, okay, and for summer collections, and also specially one more is there, collections means, and also lightweight knitted fabrics are used for summer collections, skin to touch fabrics, okay, and the fabrics used for hygienic purposes. These are the things are there. And also nowadays this knitted fabrics are used for active wears for yogas, exercises, movements, gyms and other things they are wearing now. Okay, even though body is moving wherever, but it will not lose because of the knit elasticity incorporated. Okay, so body, they can do any movements in sports and athletes, active or yoga, whatever it is. Okay, there are things are there. Friends, I'm closing now live. Tomorrow again I'm coming with the Hindi version of, I don't know which subject I will come. Tomorrow morning, which subject it will come in my mind, I will come that. Okay, whether it may be textile testing or any other subject. Friends, please subscribe to my channel Guru Veera Textile and Fashion Technology Tutorials. Please share to your friends, like it. Please click the bell icon for notifications. Thank you very much.